lights up on. It's basically like a cheat sheet to your play. Hello everyone and welcome back to The Hub. I'm Virginia May Edinger and today we are going to be covering Playwriting Part 2. In this video we are going to be discussing formatting, setting, and characters a little bit more in depth. So let's begin with formatting. The best way for me to teach you how to format is to show you, but watching a video of me formatting a Word document would not be terribly interesting. I have instead opted to share some links below to resources and guides provided by Samuel French and Play Submission Helper, which will be a great tool that you can use on your own. Now, is adhering to this kind of formatting important? Well, yes and no. On the one hand, a lot of playwriting contests, festivals, and competitions will require that your plays be submitted in a particular format. However, the most freeing thing that I think you can do as a writer for yourself is to use whatever font and format are most conducive to your creativity. Who are we to tell you what to do? You can always reformat it later. Now, your play should always start with 2 introductory pages. The first is going to be your title page. Your title page should include a title, a subtitle, and a bytitle. So the title is the name of your play, the subtitle is where you describe what kind of play it is, what length it is, whether or not it was adapted, and then the byline is just saying who it's by. So in your case, that will be you. Some examples include Pygmalion, a romance in 5 acts by George Bernard Shaw. Traction, a 10-minute play by Eric Ramsey.
The Bear, a vaudeville inspired by Anton Chekhov's play of the same name by Brian Friel.
At the bottom of your title page, you can include your contact information, including a mailing address, an email address, a website, a phone number. The next introductory page in your play is going to be a character, setting, and scenic breakdown. Now, it's up to the playwright to decide how much or how little information they would like to include on this page. Generally, in a character breakdown, the playwright will list the characters, their ages, their relations to each other, and usually a short description that summarizes any relevant information to the play. Background, wants, personalities, physical descriptions, etc. Next, you'll want to include your setting breakdown. Now, this can be 1 or 2 lines that just loosely summarizes where and when your play takes place. You could say something as vague as a library, present day. You could get a little more specific and say various locations in London spanning the years from 1843 to 1862. Or you could get even more specific and say
Acte 1, the cafétéria of Chez Francis. Acte 2, the Countess's cellar, 21 Rue de Chaillot.
Basically, it just gives your reader a little more information about where and when your play takes place. The next thing you'll want to include, especially if your play is going to be long or have a lot of scenes and transitions, is going to be a scenic breakdown. The biggest entity that is a play is the play itself. Within that are smaller chunks called acts. Usually there's an intermission between Act 1 and Act 2, but you can have as many or as few acts as you'd like. But within these acts are smaller scenes. A scene is described as a series of actions that takes place in more or less continuous time and space. So you know that a scene has ended when you need to go to a different space or if the action itself has become completed. A series of scenes following one continuous overarching action is what makes an act. But the scenic breakdown is where you would break up your acts and your scenes to give your reader a little better of an idea about what scenes take place where. You can include who's in them, or if time changes, where then. After getting these introductory pages done, you're ready to actually start writing your play. Now, some playwrights like to make sure that they've planned out their play very thoroughly before they ever begin writing. Other playwrights like to do free writing, where you just write and make discoveries along the way. I like a blend in the middle. I do like to start with an outline so that I know where I'm going and what beats I need my characters to hit, but I also like to give myself the freedom to make discoveries along the way. If you're unsure where to start your play, I always recommend beginning with the phrase, lights up on, and then a short paragraph in the present tense that describes your set. Keep in mind that the set is the first thing your audience sees when they sit down to view your play. It can immediately indicate the tone and the kind of show that your audience is going to be viewing. A play that takes place in a dimly lit, drippy, cold, dark cellar is going to be a very different play from a show like Seussical, which will have a Whoville crazy color madness set. Set can indicate character, such as a bibliophile's room being filled with books. It can show physical change, such as a clean house slowly becoming more and more messy as the owner frantically searches for something that they've lost and tears the house apart hunting for it. Or it can show a passage of time, such as a new, clean living room slowly becoming drab and shabby and dusty as it falls into disuse and disrepair. And try to ensure that everything you've included in your set is there for a real reason. The last thing I would like to talk to you about today are your characters. As we established in our last video, those good characters, those compelling characters, are ones with distinct wants or objectives that we as an audience want to see them achieve. Compelling characters are empathetic, not meaning that we sympathize with them or pity them, but that we understand why they do what they do. Characters such as Aladdin and Jean Valjean and Oliver Twist were all thieves or pickpockets, but yet they're all driven by a higher goal or want, and we are invested in seeing them achieve that, so we will overlook their flaws in character because we find them empathetic and therefore compelling. Characters should be distinct, with their own physicality, body language, appearance, priorities, and backgrounds. You can also consider vocal distinctions such as tone, pitch, vocal habits, word choice. For example, a character like this,
Like, Jared was like, you're cute. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, cute like a bunny cute? Or like, cute like, I don't know, like you want to like go out with me or something cute? Like, I don't know.
is very different from a character like this.
I don't understand a thing you just said. Lavender oil?
Or a character like this.
Righto, governor. Pip cherry bye.
And if I put all three of them in a scene together, you would be able to tell, even without looking, which character was which character. But enough of me giving you my 2 cents about how to write. Now it is time for you to actually write. For this week's Hub Challenge, I would like you to take the idea for a play that you came up with in our last video and actually start writing it. Make sure you include your introductory pages and follow the formatting guidelines if they are helpful to you. I would suggest making this just a short scene or a short play that you could always add to later if you'd like. Now for a clarification, when you send things to us at the Hub, which thank you to all of the people who already have, we've been enjoying seeing all the things that you've been participating in at home, please let us know whether or not you'd like us to share your projects on our social media pages, and if so, please make sure you include your name as you would like it listed. Thank you guys so much, catch you next time!